What's up, stretchy boy? Who's the goofy bite me, huh? Alright, boom. Let's get a bowl loaded. Get this party started. Well, not party, but a kickback. A kickback and chill. Boy. So cute. Cute little Zuga. Boom. Boom, boom, bada bing, bada boom. Hey! Took off. Pretty sure that's just a Pops. There we go. Sending off the messages. Actually, one more thing. Oops, shit. Fucked up, no. There we go. There we go. God damn it. Boo. Alright, cool. Now I fixed it. Sweet. Oh, my goodness. And I've noticed YouTube has been absolutely shit with fucking notifications lately. Yeah, if anything, I noticed that like one of my recent streams, Freudian Husky, that one was fucking like force locked private for apparently doing a scam situation. So like this may, kind of, hit our community guidelines as a scam or potentially, fraudulent or something. It's just like, what? I didn't get like marked with it, like with a strike or nothing, but I was just like, oh. I literally don't sell anything, so I don't know what the fuck it was about. Stupid as hell, though. It's like, okay. It's like, I see how it is, YouTube. I'm a scam. YouTube be like, just like, oh. There'd be somebody trying to sell some ammunition. That's a scam. Better have a community guide on strike. It's like, what the fuck? Ugh, deals me out. I'm trying to think, like, what in that stream could even remotely have been close to, like, some sort of, like, scam or something like that. I literally don't even know. Oh, I wonder if it's, like, those bots or some shit that, like, go into comment sections and shit. I wonder if that's it. Yo, what's up? What do? It's gonna have a little mini rant about YouTube's lack of awesomeness, to say the least, because they hit like one of my streams that I did recently. I'm gonna look up the specifics because it is so weird. It's like, I know one of it was like, we think we've detected a scam within this or something. I'm just like, what? I want to try to find it. It's one of my recent ones too. Oh, here it is. We have made your content private. Our team has reviewed your content. We may think you need to make changes to make sure it doesn't violate our spam, deceptive practices, and scams policy. The funny thing is, it hasn't applied to strike or anything like that. So, and honestly, they say it also says if we haven't applied strike to your channel, and if you make changes, or if you think we've made a mistake, you can request to make your content public again. And I'm gonna do that because honestly, it's just like that. I literally don't even know. Talk to a liberal who says edgy gender descriptions are not valid. They don't get personality of people. Well, I mean, they might, like, it's just because they don't get it, don't mean it's a thing. I mean, I'm kind of like even a step further and just go gender abolition status with it, but that doesn't mean I, like, invalidate, whatever other fucking, like, xenogenders or, like, extra whatever stuff else. I'm just, as far as I'm concerned, I don't give a shit. It's like, go forth, do what you wish. Like, any and all, as far as I'm concerned. So, any, all, or none at all, whichever. Like, I mean, as far as I'm concerned, take one or the other with the absolute with that one. Because if it's a social construct, then what, like, real value outside of just what you personally feel does it actually have? So if you personally feel one way, go forth with it. I mean, that's just at least how I see it. But, well, it's just like, and honestly, it took me some time to get it, but once I did, it's more simple than it really is, honestly. Get that person to, like, talk to somebody who might be, like, a non-binary or a person or something like that, because, at least for me, that's kind of what helped me understand it more over time, was just kind of talking with people like that. But if not, of course, being an ally and kind of talking defense for it also helps too. But, either way, it's still kind of a little bit of a kind of a dumb mindset to be like, I don't get it, so it's not valid, it's dumb, boo. It's like, you don't have to get it, like, who cares if you get it? It's not for you to get, it's for the other person to, it's for the person doing it to get, for themselves. They literally are trying to get rid of comments off of every platform. Yeah. I mean, honestly and frankly, because at minimal, am, like, kind of one myself, and, like, you know, at most, really just affiliate a lot with myself on communist ideology, or just far leftist ideology in general, even though I don't overtly identify myself with that, or agree with all the sentiments. But it's just, like... I mean, at the end of the day, you know, because of that, and just being lumped in with a lot of different more far-right, or no, far-left extremists and radicals, whether they are communists or not, and considering I am one myself anyway, at least on a more labor / kind of anarchistic, syndicalist bent, but either way, still, you know, sympathetic to other leftist ideologies. Because at the end of the day, I mean... like, if we all kind of pretty much agree on, like, 80+% of the issues, then I don't really see as, you know, that much of a need to, like, have serious fucking infighting. Like, you know, having disagreements is one thing, but infighting bullshit is kind of ridiculous to me. Capitalism, one fashion, always. Yeah, because, I mean, it's a part of how they support their system. They kind of work in tandem with each other. Which is why there's such a rise on it in the US as of late. My pretty boy. There was also like a climate action protest that happened today, and there was a few people that had a few like hammer and sickles, like Soviet flags, and like a few just like red flags and shit. And the entire Portland subreddit was basically just fucking like basically just memeing on all of them being commies just because like one person had a Soviet flag or some shit. It's like all these lame dumb kids, you know, being commies, not understand stuff. They probably, you know, need to go back to school. It's like Jesus Christ. It's like got invaded by fucking like liberal NBs and conservatives. Like, oh, good lord, they're just so annoying. Cause it's like, oh yeah, let's not like, you know, let's overlook the fact that there's like a climate action protest, you know, but let's just look at like, you know, a few pictures of, you know, of some flags that some people were waving around at it. It's like, all right then, whatever. It's like a bunch of chuckle fucks. I mean, that's like kind of another great tenement for it, is that, you know, it's like, hey, even though there are real issues, let's use PR or basically do anything else to essentially avoid talking about the actual issue. Like with this whole baby formula show with Abbott, with their factory shutting down and shit. Like, instead of actually just admitting and being accountable and transparent with what the fuck was going on, they essentially use PR and everything under the sun to avoid actually being held accountable or, you know, being held at fault. And if anything, blame it to consumers, which are babies. And essentially, you know, if you're gonna blame a bunch of fucking babies, you know, for dying over having your baby formula after being infected with a very specific bacterial infection that can only be found, at least locally in the region, or at least in the US, where, you know, this bacteria is known to be around, is in one of these fucking factories that happen to be distributing a lot of this formula. It's like, So instead of just like shutting it down for maybe like a week or two to just do massive deep cleaning and scrubbing and, you know, just like sanitization of the entire fucking factory grounds, it's like, nah, we're just gonna shut it down entirely. Fuck it. Yeah, it's more cost effective, just kind of let it shut down and just kind of brush it under the rug. Let's talk about rationing. It's not left from the ones we see today, GOP union buffs. Oh, you mean like with cop unions and shit? Or like with correctional officers unions and stuff? Because honestly, I've noticed that, at least as of late, I'm noticing that there's like some people that have like looked sympathetically towards fascism because they're like, oh hey, there's some things like unions and certain stuff like that tend to be okay and supported, and it's just like, I'm just looking at it like, dude, are you really that fucking naive? I mean, I look at these people and I'm just like, are you seriously this naive? Like, I mean, do we have to like kind of look at the historical context of that type of shit to kind of, you know, see why that didn't really matter in the first place, unless you're in a very specific group? And even then, if you're not exactly seen as, like proper or, or in part of the system, then even then, you wouldn't necessarily be treated a part of that group. The national syndicalism, yeah. I mean, a lot of politicians especially do. A lot of, at least when it comes to some of the more conservative-leaning co-workers I've known, definitely not as much when it comes to, like, being fascistic in nature and shit. So, if anything, a lot of these more fascistic politicians just take advantage of the fact that there are, happen to be common folk people that are conservatives or right-wing that also happen to support leftist ideas like unions and shit. And in fact, the more conservative-leaning co-worker I know is also pretty environmentalist as well, and it's like, oh shit. Like the Republican who was a part of the UBC and the IBEW and the USW and UAW. Oh, is there like some Republicans that are like endorsed by them? Because I'm not gonna lie, at least around here, that would be odd. Because essentially every fucking like union that happens to be around here will endorse usually progressive or left-leaning type of candidates. Like even at least on county-wide scale, like at least some Republicans that tend to be supported by unions like the IAFF, the International Association of Firefighters, for example. Like, they're pretty much like the only one that might endorse Republicans, essentially, but even then, that kind of gives a little bit more of an open branch towards having, better proper firefighting, or firefighters around here, especially considering wildfires have been kind of growing up north and shit like that, and, among other things. So, it's like, at least around here in Oregon, it's luckily not so much the case. A lot of the more crazy fascistic types are usually, especially around here, tend to be kind of frowned upon. It's not like they make little inways in certain places and shit, because especially on local areas, it's a little bit harder to sift them out. Especially if they're like, someone that's kind of known through the town or something like that, and got like, some sort of, like, oh yeah, that's like old Aunt Betsy over there, she's nice, she'll be definitely good for the council seat, or some shit like that. Yeah, it's like every now and then you might get a crazy Trumper like that and shit, or like, a MAGA type or something. But luckily they're not that common around here, but when they are, they usually don't go that far. Luckily. But it does show that their influence is definitely around here. How progressives get blue collar works to, oh, like, well, I mean, like, a lot of the members of unions might tend to be Republican and conservative shit, but I wouldn't necessarily, look at least the members of them specifically as, the problem with that when it comes to getting, like, maybe progressives into that type of blue-collar work and shit. If anything, that's, in my mind, kind of a ripe opportunity to be like, oh, if there happens to be more conservatives in these type of unions and shit, and you get people that are more leftist and progressive there, then it just, especially with that more pro-union solidarity with each other, there's going to be a little bit more of an open bridge to discuss, especially more lefty ideas, is when it comes down to things like, a lot of leftist action that got, things like unions and labor and shit. So there's definitely ways to couch it, but the best way to do it is just kind of, work with them a little bit. Just like, doing, like, because a lot of construction crews out here, I could tell, aren't, all, weirdo conservatives or whatever. There's definitely, some progressive, types at least, or maybe liberal types and shit. Though I'm sure it also varies from local to local, too. We don't want Mussolini, yeah. Well, I mean, it like, fundamentally the root of unions are about, just ensuring the safety conditions and ensuring the wages of the workers and shit, and make sure that they actually have a voice and some power within the system. That's at least, the main priority of, what unionization is about. But, I mean, by proxy, the idea is that hopefully that also changes the minds of a lot of conservatives, too, being a part of that. Because if you have, like, some conservative dude who might be kind of racist and shit, but he's on a strike line and he happens to be, like, side by side of a bunch of black people getting beat by a bunch of cops just as much as black people are, like he is, then, I mean, it's just like, he's, you know, he's probably going to look at it a little differently. Or if he's getting, you know, smacked on by a cop and a black worker, you know, on the picket line picks him out, you know, and despite him getting fucked up a little bit too by the cops and shit. I mean, those type of things, you know, definitely change people's minds. And at least hopefully that's the idea when it comes to, you know, using labor action to, especially in more conservative leaning type of unions and shit, to change, you know, to change the scale of it. A lot of it also is just trying to find, you know, work that has those type of unions in place or have them around. I love seeing fascists trying to out-fascist each other. Yeah, the GOP's been doing that. Like, they just took out Madison Cawthorn, which initially I was kind of maybe hoping a redemption arc would come from him, but considering where he's going now, that ain't gonna happen. And I'm very heavily disappointed in him. He should have went the redemption arc route, but nope, he's going like dark MAGA route, and it's like, you fuck. You could have had something going for yourself, bro, but nope. You just went down the well further, just like, you bastard. I should have known. Yeah, but let's not be compassionate to the white, let's not be, compassionate to the white blue collar. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like a vice versa thing, but that's like a part of the whole divide and conquer thing by the owner class and shit. He was about destroying our rights. Yeah. That's, I mean, politically he was a piece of shit, but considering how he was spilling the beans and fucking, like, you know, kind of coming out a little bit in a weird way, you know, against the GOP and shit, then they just fucking absolutely went so, you know, goddamn, like, hard on him and shit. It's like, damn, he knew some shit, and fuck, I kind of wish he was still in there just, you know, so he could keep spilling these fucking beans. But alas, you know, it's not gonna happen, so I hope somebody else, you know, feels a little inspired by him, you know, to spill beans about the Republicans further or some shit. Because they were really adamant about, you know, wondering who the fuck, you know, said the shit that they, Madison was told or invited to and shit. And he was not gonna rat him out. Say their ideology loud and proud. Yeah. It's to the point where, I mean, you like, you really think they have coke parties and orgies? The GOP? Yeah. Yeah, those bunch of fucking weird, deviant, fucking disturbed fucking psychos, like a good chunk of them are actual, like, pedophiles and shit, like Matt Gaetz, for example. Jim Jordison, I think Laura Boeber's also had, like, you know, it's like some shit about that before. Like, I mean, a lot of those motherfuckers, straight up, like, they do some degenerate shit. I think the Dems do it too, probably. Yeah. They probably invite each other to their different parties. I guarantee you Joe Manchin and fucking Mitch McConnell have been snorting coke and fucking getting a blowjob by the same hooker in the same fucking room. Guarantee it. I bet Nancy Pelosi is extremely flexible. I don't really need to know too much about what the fuck they do. I really don't. Let's not go too far. Let's not kill it. That's why I support the LGBT. At least you want to be a degenerate and be safe about it. Yeah. Not just that, but also just embrace it and don't be like some weird fucking like politician about it, basically, where you're just like, use it for virtue signal points, or, you know, basically use it as a way to fucking undermine the entire community and fuck them over, even though you're the one who decides to get, you know, like, all the fucking, you know, gay hookers and shit like that. Ted Haggard. He, you know, even though he wasn't a politician, he was one of those type of dudes. You know, doing blow off gay hookers' ass cheeks and shit like that, and fucking, you know, was out there espousing outright homophobic garbage and shit. And of course, you know, him being, I think now at this point he's, I think now embraced it and kind of like changed, but like basically his like his faction of like, you know, the Christian right just won't return him back, so now he's like doing, I think, some sad grift somewhere else or some shit. He like fell way the fuck off, which is good, I guess. So disgusting. Like, give me someone who was on. Yeah, seriously. Like, if you're gonna give me some mental imagery about these fucking weird politicians, give me somebody who's like worth a fuck to imagine. Because I don't need to imagine. Like, never mind. I'm just gonna stop. Like, fuck. I mean, honestly, Kamala Harris would be better. Like, I mean, I don't even necessarily think she's like the most attractive woman ever, but fuck, she'd work. That would be fine. Fucking, I mean, what other, like, Weasley little, like, I guess you know, Kirsten Sinema. Just out of just sheer hate fuckery. Like, that'd basically just be a hate fuck moment right there. Who else? There's not really many. They're all, like, ugly muffins of some sort or another. I had a horrible nightmare. I dreamt I did it with one of the female Fox News hosts. Brain, why did you do that to me? Why hundreds of women to see on my Twitter feed and you picked her? Who was it? Because honestly, like, a female Fox News host, I mean, I don't know, like, it's like I was just saying about Kirsten Sinema, it's like, you know, I can see myself doing a hate fuck, you know what I'm saying? Megyn Kelly, I think. Oh, God! Oh, man, okay, wow. Yeah, your brain did do you bad. Yeah, what the fuck? Yeah, why did your brain do that to you? Jesus. I don't even know who the other ones are, but, like, there's a few others that are more obscure that I'm like, okay. It's like the obscure ones, like you're basically generic, like, right-wing Fox host. It's like, white, blonde, big booba. Like, that's pretty much the criteria. So all the old men that fucking watch Fox News can be like, ugh. She did have nice tits in the dream, though. Well, at least your brain did you a solid with that. What the fuck, bro? Yeah, what the hell, bro? Why? But hearing her talk, nah. No, I would not want to hear her talk. Ugh. So annoying. Okay, bro. What the hell? Why? Excuse me. Like, ugh. I'll give you a treat later. Jerk. Oh my lord. I can't believe that, yeah. I believe just... Honestly, I'm really reminded of, like, Elon Musk fucking with his recent scandal. Even though he tried to get ahead of it, too. Or it's like, he was basically like, just to let y'all know, I want all these weird right-wing simps to basically just fucking, you know, like, totally defend me when a thing comes out. Because let y'all know, a thing comes out, and it's about him literally, like, not just, like, sexually harassing, but honestly just straight up just kind of, like, borderline assaulting one of his, like, SpaceX flight attendants and shit, and try to, like, coax her into, like, fucking him for a horse. It's like, do you want a horse? It's like, you fucking freak, dude. What the fuck? It's like, I don't even want to imagine, like, what the fuck that cockroach has got going on down there. Like, seriously. Twisty, so I might be a wee little bit drunk. Is that supposed to be a problem? You should have done that yesterday or the night after before that, like, cause I mean I was drinking those last prior nights. You're late to my drinking regiment here, boy. Come on now. What? The local news, some cop got 40 charges of animal abuse after he got caught on his body cam fucking a pig? Wow, dude. What did I tell you? What have I always told everybody? A part of the initiation for cops is they go to the pig farms and fuck pigs and breed some sows. What did I fucking tell you? I feel vindicated. I feel fucking vindicated right now. I'm looking for a story as we speak. Please confirm it. Like, because frankly, I don't even care. I believe you already. I feel vindicated. This accounts bestiality, really. I know, like, it's just pig on pig sex. I mean, you got a pig fucking a pig. I mean, it's just that one pig happened to have a body cam on it. I mean, I think we're being too harsh to pigs here. I mean, come on now. What the fuck? I'm honestly not surprised at all. In deadass, I legit feel vindicated. Like, I definitely went on rants about cops multiple times where I'll mention, like, you know, they definitely go into, like, pig farms or they have some in their police stations and they just fuck them. And what do you know? Vindication. At this point, I just want to, I'm just kind of waiting for the article just so I can... No, I thought that was it for a second. I was just about to be like, oh shit, here it is, but okay. There's something else though. No one's attractive in the Progressive Caucus nationally, but this one is in my state. He's attractive in East Caucus in New York State. Feather named Gibbs. The story is more common than I thought. A lot of cops get charged for animal abuse. Are you serious? Honestly, yeah, this guy's actually pretty attractive. It's kind of got like that, you know, you can cuddle for me, you know, anytime type of vibe. Look at this guy. This guy's got a vibe, you know, it's like, I can cuddle for you type of vibe. Bastard's fucking my Chinese zodiac animal. Damn, bro. Man. And don't they say that, like, the LGBTQ are gonna be the ones that are gonna be like, next thing you know, these people are gonna make us marry dogs and pigs and stuff, and it's like... And it's just like, yeah, why is it that you fucking people are always caught doing the animal fucking, doing all this other weird shit, you know, being caught being pedophile, like, why is it you're always the motherfuckers that tend to be this way? Like, seriously. Like, a bunch of cops getting, like, endlessly charged for fucking pigs and shit, fucking, like, weird right-wing conspiracy nut jobs that are, like, secretly diddling kids or some shit. Like, it's like, I mean, it's like, come the fuck on. Massive, like, right-wing homophobe, evangelical Christians and shit caught doing some gay sex or whatever the fuck. It's like, Jesus Christ, these maroons. It's like, especially if the internet, it's not hard to see through their stupid shit at this point. They're the ones the degenerates safe. They're the ones the degenerates they fear. Yeah. I mean, yeah, because really, fundamentally, they're the ones who are being degenerate. Like, if anyone really is. They don't want anyone getting in on, or regrettably in this case, off on their fun. Yeah. I mean, I'm just still wondering, like, what the fuck about the, just, just the big fucking thing. It's like, wow. I mean, frankly, not too surprised, but I mean, like I said, if anything, I feel fucking vindicated, but I'm just like, wow. I need to probably make some more predictions, to be fucking frank, because I've made some claims where, I feel like down the line, I'm like, oh, I feel vindicated. Yeah, I'm actually trying to remember if there was like some fucking shitty cop story in my little area, but I'm not thinking of one anytime soon, or of anyone recently. I know there actually was one where, if anyone remembers, back in, I think it was in 2012, there was the Clackamas Mall shooting. Well, I guess there was apparently another one where it wasn't like an actual like shooting. It was more like, you know, some probably gang-related bullshit that was in the fucking parking lot. And that happened, I think, like fucking on like I think yesterday, if I remember correctly. And it's just like, and from what I understood, basically the guys essentially just like locked down the whole area, would not let anyone leave. It's like, oh, you're in the mall? Well, too bad, you're stuck in there. It's like, what the fuck? Honestly, the sheriffs here are fucking ridiculous. Like, they were just, like, fucking pig-happy about being authoritarianistic bastards, you know, when they get the chance. It's just like, Jesus Christ. It's like, I get it, you got, like, you know, a very serious situation, you know, but, like, for fuck's sake. Like, nope, we're just gonna not, like, let anyone, like, you know, just be, you know, allowed to be escorted off, you know. Hey, stop it. Lay down. Lay down. Jeez. Jamie Ransom used to be the one who had a hot son, but when he became an anti-communist progressive, he was... Well, ew. And how's that guy progressive then? He sounds like a Jimmy Dore type at that point. Because even, like, at this rate, Jimmy Dore's just like, hey, you know, you kind of need to, like, vote Republican if you're anti-war or progressive. And it's like, what? It's like, well, what are you even talking about? It's like, man, wow. Now I really, like, ugh. Now I'm really not liking him anymore. It's like, what happened to you, dude? What happened, Jimmy? Why'd you get hit with a door on the head? It's like, god damn it. What the fuck? He also, like, thought that, the Humanist Report was, like, authoritarian as, like, a motherfucker, apparently, or some shit, and thought he was, like, you know, an advocate of censorship, even though he isn't. And basically burnt the bridge between him, even though they used to be buddies, and it's like, good lord. I mean, especially after, like, hearing him being like, yeah, you know, like, being Democrat, you're pro-war, being Republican, anti-war. It's like, okay, one, that's literally not how it works. Two, they're both quite literally openly pro-fucking war. And three, that's dumb. That's just dumb as fuck. It's like, good lord. I mean, like, honestly, if anything, being, like, at least in my mind, progressives more so, like, looking and prioritizing towards things like direct action at this fucking rate. Because, you know, partaking in this whole electoral system is just pretty much, like, prolonging a lot of the fucking, you know, bullshit that we have going on. And at least when it comes to, like, you know, your local townships, countywide, you know, local neighborhoods, you know, citywide, statewide, there's at least, you know, some influence or at least, you know, power available or ripe for the picking, or is maybe to some extent already there that people have. And that's at least, you know, where the focus needs to be, because especially if people want to start seeing some more direct change in their fucking lives and in their fucking little areas to live in and shit, that's the way to go. I mean, I've been seeing it myself. Like, a lot of the new infrastructure being built up here is because of our more progressive mayor that we've had, Mark Gamba, which now he's going to be a part of the 41st state seat for the nominee of that, at least for the Democratic side, which basically just means he's very strongly probably going to win. Like, it's very likely he would. Jimmy Doris, I have to again probably talk to her bonus and see it because of shit. I just make to Jimmy. Well, yeah, I'm assuming you're probably gonna pop that up, but I'm gonna see how specific reason that gas is flammable. Not a lie, verifiable fact. I'm simply saying that gas is again flammable substance, and there's a lot of gas around. Yep, there is indeed a fact that there is gasoline that happens to be all over the place. Did you know that you can put those in bottles and you can save those? You can put those in jerry cans and gasoline cans, and you can save those and store those for a period of time for, you know, certain necessities and certain purposes, such as, you know, refilling your car or other things. Maybe, you know, needing to, you know, like, you know, get like your little backyard little fire pit going, you know, need a little extra oomph, you know, sprinkle a little bit in there, you know, put a little match in there, and then there you go. And, you know, other stuff, of course. A lot of things you can do with it. Maybe like burning lamb, chase bacon around. Saving for your car, science experiments, yeah, that's it, science experiment, yeah, science experiments. For science, you know. Involving blast radiuses for chemistry. Funny enough, honestly, because of some of my coworkers and some of their backgrounds, they actually know a few things about EOD, like, stuff. My dad, too. So, honestly, dead ass, I probably could, like, jerry-rig a little thing that involves blast radius and, you know, boom booms and things like that. Shouldn't say much, but when it comes to explosives, I kind of know individuals that potentially can pass knowledge down forth. I was just thinking about. Never mind. That's just yeah. No, something hilarious about Star Wars. The entire series is liberal versus fascist. Kinda. I mean, honestly, if what's funny is I'm pretty much like the only Trekkie at my work, so I'm always like hearing shit about Star Wars nonstop. But when it comes to like Trek stuff, I actually think, especially when it comes to politics, I think it's a lot more nuanced and far more expansive than people give it credit for. Because one of my coworkers is like, oh, Star Trek is basically just like you're on a ship and you're just like, you know, different planets, and it's just kind of meh. It's like, no. I mean, it's like, yeah, to some extent, but no. It's like, come on. Let's be real here. But lightsaber. Bzzz. Hey, lightsabers are cool. I fucking love lightsabers. I actually got one over here. I need to repair it, actually. But I got my own. Like I said, it needs repairs because the fucking shit here is all fucked up and I need to get it repaired a little bit. But other than that, you know, got one. The Federation doesn't live up entirely to its utopian ideals. Of course not. And I think that's fine, honestly. But I do disagree with some of the Germans or shit, just so like, I'm not, I mean, yeah, he's a boomer shit, but I feel like that's literally harmed them. I mean, at least when it comes to Jimmy Dore specifically, like, I mean, I would say sure, but like a lot of, especially this recent stuff, has been more about like delving into, you know, like, I mean, more in the past, but you know, he was delving into a lot of like anti-vax type of shit for quite a while. You know, and obviously you were saying, you know, you disagree with, you know, some of the stuff, like you were saying. But then, you know, just kind of slowly but surely hearing more about, like, these different things, like, you know, this whole, oh, you know, to be an anti-war progressive, you gotta vote Republican, essentially. It's just like, that's, I mean, to me, that's not being progressive. That's just basically, you know, hey, just kind of be Republican on a single issue thing. And it's like, no, because Republicans aren't for that. I mean, it'd be one thing if they were, but even the ones that supposedly say they are, aren't. So it's like, what? I mean, there's just, you know, a lot of things where it's just more or less, you know, delving more towards, you know, like, supporting the Republicans in a sense, more so than trying to enact, like, these type of progressive ideals and shit that at least he used to espouse. It's not like being anti-gun by shooting people with guns. Kind of. I guess. I mean, in a way. I'm gonna be anti-gun, so to make my point, I'm gonna shoot people, I guess, or something. I mean, like, I don't necessarily, like, utterly rule out Jimmy, so to speak, but, you know, because I still will, like, you know, tune in to see what he's up to, but it's just, you know, just on an off chance he might not, you know, be doing the shit he's doing, but, I mean, he's kind of honestly becoming, yeah, at least for me, more harder to actually legit kind of listen to, at least more seriously. Which, at least for me, is just more disappointing than anything. Like, I mean, overall, it's just like, I mean, I don't have, like, this, oh, fuck him, you know, type of, you know, vitriol and shit. I'm just like, looked up to you, I trusted you. You're meant to be the chosen one. Maybe not that far, but. And I'm just, yeah. I don't watch it anymore. Yeah, I don't really either at this point. Outside of, like, maybe the occasional clip that I will get recommended occasionally. Fox host blames shootings on video games. Oh my fucking god, this stupid talking point's back. Oh my god. Hey, Fox News, the 90s want their talking point back. Gray Zone. I think I might have heard of them. There. When it comes to chicken dry rub, marinade, or brine. Probably marinade. At least for me, probably. Will you ever think of something new? Probably not. It's just like they pretty much legit want to fucking use anything and everything but the actual root of the problems when it comes to things like these mass shootings and shit. And even me, you know, being an advocate for more gun regulation, isn't. I don't even necessarily think that in itself is the root of the issue. Like, I mean, a lot of it's comes down to fucking education. A lot of this fucking mass indoctrination as well when it comes to a lot of these more far-right ideologies and shit that essentially at this point is enabling terroristic fucking actions. I mean, so much so that's like also, you know, being espoused from one of the #1 cable news network show hosts right now, Tucker Carlson. I mean, he's, you know, been somebody who's constantly has been a fucking you know, advocate or enabler for a lot of these fucking ideologies. So at this rate, I mean, as far as I'm concerned, it definitely can be considered fucking, you know, enabling a fucking incitement of terroristic actions at this rate, as far as I'm fucking concerned. And if he wants to have like some sort of weird, condescending, gawky laugh and shit going his little or whatever the fuck. Because honestly, if anything, he also was like smiling, basically looking, you know, happy and all proud that he was basically considered, you know, fucking white nationalist news show. He was all like, "Oh yes, look at me, I'm so happy about this." Like, he's just basically openly, pretty much, you know, saying to the world, like, "Hey, I'm a white supremacist. I'm pretty much like borderline, if not just a fucking Nazi. So, eh." Criminal instruction and working the same day in jobs for years of unlivable pay. What are people getting so violent all of a sudden? Yeah, I know. I wonder why. I wonder why some people are also, you know, despite maybe some of their more reserved feelings about things and shit and more passive, you know, approach about things, are also getting a little bit more radical and aggressive. It's like, why is that happening so much all of a sudden? Why are people just more pissed and, you know, just get more angry? I wonder. It must be video games. Kid was fucked. Yeah. It definitely was. And especially with how and like how the fucking cops approached him and shit was treated way too fucking kindly. I mean, frankly, like, honestly, it's like, why don't the pigs actually go, like, you know, the whole shoot first, ask questions later type of shit when it comes to these fucking terrorist attacks? It's like, maybe that's the one time they could maybe, you know, have their steroid, you know, pig fuck lust rage, you know, unleashed. But nope, it's just some random black dude that might just be crossing the street a little too suspiciously. Or some shit. No, gotta unleash it for that dude. Oh, is it gotta be? Yep. If people can't get their bread and get a proper fucking pay, you're like, honestly, you wanna know what's kind of fucked is that apparently some of the more real reasons as to why Buffalo Shore did what he did was literally because of a fucking toothache he couldn't fucking fix. I'm not even kidding. Like, his whole manifesto shit was mostly just plagiarized and just essentially copy paste from other Nazis and shit. But there was like a whole Discord that he had to himself where he was essentially talking to himself. And a lot of it was, you know, constantly bringing up this fucking toothache that he apparently had. And, you know, basically blamed the fact that his dentist is apparently Jewish and all the Jews are apparently, you know, out to get him and, you know, cause his suffering and shit. So, like, it was just all sorts of type of shit. could have pulled out. Yeah, his pops could have pulled out. Or just made her swallow that night. Either way. But, yeah, essentially, like, his entire fucking Discord was, that he had to himself and shit was basically just constantly bringing this type of thing up, because, you know, like, everything that he apparently tried didn't work, and fucking, you know, didn't, you know, like, you know, have the funds, or just either didn't want to fucking, you know, try to go further to fix it and shit. And it's like, if only we had universal healthcare where, you know, just any type of healthcare from dentist care to whatever the fuck, you know, is freely accessible to the point of service, maybe he wouldn't be, you know, so devolved into such a crazy fringe type of way of thinking. Just a hunch. So far, that listening is so out of days, the amount of government wars, so that the dust shelf. Yeah. Because at this point, there's like not really much, you know, like to give, you know, without fundamentally changing the system, you know, drastically. So at this rate, it's basically just kind of continuing this back and forth fucking pinball game when it comes to social issues and shit. So, another reason why, honestly, electoralism essentially fucking failed at this rate. Because, it's like, if it's basically just a pinball back and forth on social issues while economic issues continue to degrade further, we're just going back and forth on, you know, how extreme we're getting, basically. It's like, what? Like, eventually one of these, you know, like, one of these balls that we're pinning back and forth and shit is going to be so big it's just going to break one of the pins. And, how's that gonna work out? Probably not good. Zukov. What a goof. He knew he was. I know he's doing something, because now he's all quiet. Little goofy dog. Pinballs, pillow fight. Not the right one you want. Want to put a bat in a pillow and bash. Or like, I don't know. I mean, either way, however you want to couch it, it's same shit. Dave Rubin. Weed leads to societal collapse. Are you fucking kidding me? You just see my last match. Can never tell when you just censoring them. Oh, I meant the tooth, but yeah, that too. Oh, well, I saw that. But yeah, that also could have worked as well. I suppose either way, the problem would be solved. Do you mind? Mind because it said the word Jews, but in a joking manner. Yeah, well, I definitely didn't see it. Sometimes Streamlabs might let it go through, but not like YouTube side. So sometimes I'll see one even though it's censored. But Not always. Milk industry is broken beyond belief. I can't get my tooth fixed. Jews! Well, there we go. I saw that. Looks like it's a damn. Probably. YouTube is so fucking, like, broken when it comes to how they censor shit on their fucking, like, comments or live chat shit. It's like, because honestly, like, it's, like, there's plenty of comments and shit I've seen that can get away with saying a lot of different things, but, like, every now and then, nope. It's like, what's even the point of it then? It's like, Jesus, it's like fucking dumb. But honestly, I mean, I don't even really understand, like, how, like, someone mind works when it comes to the conclusion of, like, oh, this problem in my life, Jews. Jews. Couldn't get into art school, Jews. Fucking toothache, Jews. Can't get a girlfriend, Jews. It's just like, oh my god, how, like, literally, no. It's like, shut up, like, stop. Oh my god, I just hate, like, the stupidity of it. It's like, for fuck's sake, it's like, yo, it's like, you know, there can be, you know, a way to, you know, rightfully and factually, you know, criticize Israel and shit, but, like, this whole Jews, everything just the Jews. Weird shit is just it's just fucking stupid. It's ridiculous. Like, I don't really like, there's obviously anti-Semitism to it, but really, like, the root of the actual, like, you know, like, of the actual, like, you know, connection of the dots of it and shit, of how people come to these conclusions to shit, to me, is just more or less just stupid and just dumb more than, like, anti-Semitic. The anti-Semitism just, it revolves around it and is enabled by it, but, like, everything, like, it in itself is just so, it's just stupid. Like, how? How do you come to such a stupid conclusion of copying bullshit? Just because their happenstance, you know, is AIPAC and, you know, a lot of, like, pro-Zionistic ideology and politicians and shit, it's like, oh, just because that happens to be a thing, suddenly it's like, oh, everything Jews. It's, like, so absurd. Considering, like, how fucking rampant it is, it's like, evidently, like, Nuremberg, even without public that shit was, that definitely didn't go far enough. It's like, Jesus Christ. It's like Reconstruction, not far enough. Nuremberg, not far enough. Like, we don't really go far enough of a lot of this, do we? It's like they're so close to realizing who the real enemy is, and their minds veer off into totally irrationality, and it's very disappointing. Yeah, it really is. Because, like, honestly, the kid could have been like, hey, you know, I mean, it's just like, hey, kid, you know, it's like you could probably harp about, like, the fucking unjust, like, health insurance industry and, you know, the fuck up healthcare industry in this country and shit, but nope, Jews. Not to be confused with disappointed! Zukov, what are you doing? Yeah, yo, what are you doing? You probably just really heavily, severely want to be on my lap, do you? No? Okay. Fine. Be that way then, bitch. Jerk. Here. I think it was on Kyle, but... Dave Rubin, legal weed leads to society. Oh my god, okay.
All right, guys.
I gotta hear this. What?
Dave Rubin is begrudgingly pro-weed. Begrudgingly. He said this about a number of like clips. I think at one point...
Begrudgingly? Oh, is it just a tweet thing? People can smoke weed if they want. To counter that, it has become an uncomfortable truth to me that... is that in some places where weed has become legal, it does seem like there's a correlation with the general collapse of society. I'm Dave Rubin.
No choice. I don't know if he uses the words begrudgingly here, but you're going to see his commentary shows that description is accurate. So let's listen to what he had to say. This should be good.
People can smoke weed if you want to smoke weed. I don't think kids should be smoking weed. The counter to that has become an uncomfortable truth to me.
So I will say up front, okay. At least he said, go ahead and smoke weed if you want to smoke weed. All right, look, I'm a fair dude. And I think that's a fair point. But he's about to drive it into a ditch.
Is that in the place...
As he does with his existence.
Where weed has become legal. It does seem that there's now a correlation with the general sort of collapse of society. Like when LA legalized it, it's like LA started getting worse. New York City like smells like weed.
Oh my god. I'm pretty sure LA has begun slowly worse for literally everything but weed. Like, I'm sure there's, like, literally all the other reasons in the world but weed. That is the reason for that. Like, I mean, I don't live there, so I don't know all the specifics, but I could probably make some generalized ideas based on the fucking, metric of, hey, pretty much like any city in the United States is going to have a very similar problems. Because, hey, in Portland, we got legal weed, but guess what? A lot of the shit that is getting worse is things like affordable housing and homelessness and shit like that. And, of course, shitty fucking worthless goddamn pig cops, amongst other issues. So it's like, just expand that to all the other cities in the U.S. and really you just have a generalized, like, yeah, these are just, like, problems in the inner cities. Because, it is, but, it's like that isn't unique. Like, there's plenty of cities that are not in legal states that have these same fucking problems. If anything worse, because of the legal weed part of it, because it's criminalized.
People. Now you got homeless people plus...
If that's the case, the guy moved to New York, seriously. Yeah, or Portland, because we got legal weed here, too. And it's like, and frankly, it does, I wish, but it doesn't. It doesn't always smell like weed unless you happen to walk by somebody that either has some or is smoking some. And it's a good smell.
Reverse.
Okay, that's it. It leads to the general collapse of society.
Because you can smell it.
The correlation there. Legality of cannabis. The legality of cannabis for medical and recreational use varies by...
Oh my god, look at the US there. It's all, like, broken and fractured with it. Oh, Jesus Christ. Even Australia, what the fuck? Australia has, like, slightly different laws to... Okay.
Distribution and cultivation, and in regards to medical...
I guess I learned something there.
How it can be consumed and what medical conditions it can be used...
I like how Uruguay down there in South America is, like, the only country there that's like, we got legal weed, I say.
Policies in most countries are regulated by 3 United Nations treaties. They go on to explain those treaties. Cannabis is classified as a Schedule I drug under the Single Convention Treaty, meaning the signatories can allow medical use,
gross,
but that it is considered to be an addictive drug with a serious risk of abuse.
Boo! Fake news.
Then they go on to say, we could skip this part here. Oh, okay, no, we can't because that's where the list of countries is. That's what I'm looking for, by the way. The use of cannabis for recreational purposes is prohibited in most countries. However, many have used a policy of decriminalization to make simple possession a non-criminal offense, often similar to a minor traffic violation. Others have much more severe penalties, such as some Asian and Middle Eastern countries where possession of even small amounts is punished by imprisonment for several years. Jesus Christ.
Gross.
Countries that have legalized recreation...
And very lame. Gross, unbased, and lame as fuck.
...use of cannabis are... Canada. the hellscape of Canada, which has completely imploded and collapsed recently.
Yep, Canada just collapsed into fucking anarchy. I think, even a few fucking nuclear bombs went off over there. Like, Canada is basically a radiated hellhole now. You got, like, goblins, ghouls, fucking, like, oversized termites that are conquering, fucking the Canadian wilderness and shit. Like, it's fucking bad voodoo over there now, bro. Like, the moose have irradiated and have, like, 2 heads and, like, instead of, like, fucking... their antlers, they got, like, spikes coming off of those antlers, so now, when they charge you, they're gonna, like, impale your ass and shit. Like, it's a fucked up thing going on over there. Their society is just gone. I mean, you might as well just, like, kind of finish the job and glass that damn place. It's just done. Got fucking radiated moose, fucking, just, like, ghouls, like, goblin demon things. Like, it's just bad time. All because they legalized weed.
Because of what went down with the trucker protests and the crackdown on the trucker protests. Georgia, Malta, Mexico, South Africa, and Uruguay, plus 18 states, 2 territories, and the District of Columbia in the United States, and the Australian Capital Territory in Australia.
Huh.
Commercial sale of recreational cannabis is legalized nationwide in 2 countries, Canada and Uruguay, however you pronounce it, and in all subnational U.S. jurisdictions that have legalized possession except Washington, D.C. A policy of limited enforcement has also been adopted in many countries, in particular the Netherlands, where the state of cannabis is tolerated at licensed coffee shops. So, look, I'll leave it to you guys. Canada, Australia, the Netherlands. Are these, like, totally non-salvageable collapsed societies?
Yep, they turn into legalized hippie fucking dippy marijuana consume communists, is what I tell you. That's all that happened. They just collapsed into fucking anarchy. There's nothing left. You might as well just nuke it. It's just gone. Lost cause. Netherlands, you can't even go there no more. Everywhere you go, you just see degenerate hippies everywhere. Hippies everywhere. Goddamn those communists. What have they done to our society? Big nah. What about Venezuela? What about, let me ask? Venezuela. That's all you need to know. You dirty communist, what do you want? What you want there, Zoo Coffee, communist son of a bitch? Here, hold on, I'm gonna give him a treat real quick. I suppose you deserve some. Here, I have some mates. Let's taste the mates. Stand. Ooh, doing a little jump. Jump it. Good boy. Doing good at the balancing act. Ugh. Stand. Good boy. And the precision chomp. Last little bit of it. See? Last little bit. Stand up. Stand up. Not sit. Stand. Ooh, good catch. Good boy.
Idiot. And is Dave Rubin a right-wing ideologue? Who, even when he disagrees with the right-wing policy, he can't help but jerk off that right-wing policy. And by the way, they go on to say the countries that legalize it for medical use. Now, that is sort of a bullshit distinction, because back to go to California as the example.
Honestly, it is kind of bullshit, and not for probably the reason he's thinking of, but just because, like, just fucking go all the way with it. It's like, fuck this whole, like, medicinal recreation. It's like, I mean, fuck, even though I'm not, like, overtly using it as a medicinal use, at the end of the day, it's medicinal for me. It's just like, I might not, like, openly, again, use it in that sense, directly and shit, but it's very much the side effect of using it. It's, got medicinal properties that legit, help. So it's just like, good lord. It's so stupid and absurd that, like, we're not gonna have it, like, just legalized. We're just gonna have it kind of legalized for certain people. It's like, just go all the way with it. Like, none of this weird little maybe-pamby, like, halfway little weird compromise bullshit. Like, fuck that.
medical use, it actually was legal for recreational use. Because you go to a doctor, you get a bullshit prescription. I don't know, my back hurts. Here.
Yeah, honestly, there's that too. Like, yeah, California was also pretty much like, oh, hey, here's like a list of things that you can say that you need marijuana for. You don't have to actually have them, by the way. And, yeah, we'll just give you a prescription. Oh, it looks like you have a bad back, depression, and anxiety. Okay. And it's like you don't have any of those. If anything, you probably have, like, you know, just occasionally sore legs from, like, you know, working on your feet or something like that. You know, but, you know, it's you know, so it's just bullshit. It's stupid. Just go all the way with it. Because honestly, especially at least for the U.S. these days, any state that for some reason just goes medical at this point is probably just loopholing it because they think, oh, we can't get recreational legislation passed potentially, so we'll just, you know, do the California method and just do it medically, you know. So it's like, I mean, at this rate, any states that for some reason are going to half measure shit with it, are probably just doing that, and it's just bullshit. Just go all the way with it, because honestly, it would pass unless it's in like Mississippi or some shit.
That's what happens. When you legalize for medical use, it's like a roundabout way to legalize it really for recreational use. So when you include those countries, you also have Argentina, Australia, Barbados, Brazil, Canada, Chile, Colombia, Costa Rica, Croatia, Cyprus, Czech Republic, Denmark, Ecuador, Finland, Germany, Greece, Ireland, Israel, Italy. Israel! Dave Rubin loves Israel!
What the fuck? Wait, they have legal medical weed? I thought it was legal in California. It is. It is now. He was talking about when they used to have the medical marijuana law before they went full recreational. But yeah, Colorado is also fully legal as well. That's also the stupid thing about it. It's like, wait, which state is legal again? It's like, it's just like, fuck that shit. Like, just have it on, do what Canada did and just federalize it. Like, goddamn. I already know that, you know, it's not gonna happen that way, but fuck, just let it happen. Honestly, I feel like, you know, there might be, like, you know, depending on, like, which Democratic or hell, even half, like, coin toss of a chance that, like, where it lands on its side, like that weird 0.1% chance where it's like, oh, you toss it and it lands just right perfectly on its side, of where, like, Republicans are like, I'll just legalize it, fuck it. One has, like, you know, some weird Republican that's like, I have a libertarian flair right now. Legal weed, meh. Like, that'd be interesting, I guess. But either way, it's like, there's some possibility for it, but goddamn, I'm not fucking, you know, put my hopes out for that, frankly. We're gonna be stuck in this, like, state-by-state limbo bullshit until, like, eventually it's, like, 2 states left. And then the feds might be like, alright, fine. Just because, you know, we'll make these states catch up. Watch it be like Alabama and Mississippi. Sorry, Venom, but honestly, I don't know, like, if Alabama will do it. Maybe Arkansas. Mississippi and Arkansas. Have you noticed the difference between smoking for bomb, vape, or joint? I've done the latter, too, and I feel like there may have been a slight difference in the feeling. Yep. Actually, one of my coworkers I'm close with on the weekends, he has a vape pen. And before I come home, after we get off work, we kind of hit the vape pen a little bit. And yeah, like, yeah, for me, I never taste the difference in vape flavors, personally. And also, at least for me, it's a lot more harsher. Itches the throat a lot more. So, if you're used to things like flour, you're definitely going to be more akin to that. But, you know, and your lungs aren't really going to be as friendly towards vaping. But if you're more into vaping, then it's going to be probably flour that your lungs are going to hate you for. Just tastes like smoke. Yeah. At least when it comes to weed, I actually do taste different flavors in it. Like, I could tell that this bag my roommate's mom gave me, that she just randomly found, is like 3 years old, of weed. And it's just like, I could taste it, but hell, gets me high. It works. I'm saving money. If anything, what normally would have been my weed fund, I'm just, next time I go shooting, when I break in my new gun, I'm gonna just buy a little bit more ammo with it. Which I'm actually excited for Monday. I get my 2 extra magazines I ordered. Some Bulgarian mags. Some polymer reinforced steel. It's like, yeah. But Anyway, digressing from that.
Lebanon, Lithuania, Luxembourg, Malawi, Malta, the Netherlands, New Zealand, North Macedonia, Norway, Panama, Peru, Poland, Portugal, Rwanda, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, San Marino, Sri Lanka, Switzerland, Thailand, the United Kingdom, Uruguay. It goes on and on and on. Anyway.
Oh my lord. At least there's a lot of these, especially in the, like, in South America, Australia, and a lot of Western Europe. Like, there actually legitimately seems to be a lot of, at least medical progress when it comes to marijuana. I mean, at least when it comes to the rest of the world, I will give a little leeway for the, like, just going full rec mode, but for the US, I don't. It's getting a little fucking ridiculous over here with that shit. If anything, I just encourage, like, other countries to just try to push it themselves, but, you know, honestly, if, like, you know, these other countries that don't have it yet get medical, you know, then hell, honestly, I will take it if, like, some other country, I honestly don't know which ones are full criminal about it, in Europe at least, or, like, obviously I know, like, some of these other countries, you know, that I'm seeing that are at least, like, kind of gray, like in Africa and Asia and, like, some parts of Eastern Europe. Like, if some of those countries even got just medical and that's it, like, hell, that'd be progress in my mind. I can at least give, like I said, some leeway to those countries. The US, not really. They all produce the same chemical, right? But they all have different results. I'm curious about edibles. Yeah, honestly, it's just basically how your body processes it. Like, when you vape, you're getting a more concentrated dose of the chemical. If you smoke flower, you're getting a lot more carcinogens because, well, it's flower. You're also smoking, well, a plant, you know, with it. So there's going to be a little difference with that. There's also, you know, with edibles, there's a different way with that because it takes longer, but depending on how much you have, you'll feel it. So, I mean, honestly, especially if you're, you know, sensitive to smoke, which I don't know if you are, but if, you know, for people that are, edibles are definitely the way to go if they still want to get high. Because honestly, like, I'll have some edibles and shit, and dead ass, it'll be like, even, you know, just smoking a little bit, like, I'll be like, wee! So we consider flower is just a name for it. I mean, it's a nickname for weed, basically. I mean, more specifically, you know, well, flower, you know, like the actual, like, plant form of it. You know, but it's, you know, but for the most part, it's pretty much just a catch-all for weed, really. It's like, yeah, it's like, hey, wants a flower? Or whatever the fuck. It's like, yeah, I got some. I got it in vape. You want to vape it? You know, or whatever the fuck. I mean, at least for me, I've always kind of used it as catch-all, but specifically it means more like the actual, like, flower form of it. Or the plant form, I should say. Hence, flower, but either way. At least for me, at least just by habit, you know, I'm always just kind of a go-to for the bong. But, you know, I like J's, blunts, fucking, you know, like vapes, but not really as often. I think Zukov is really trying to break a bone off that little rope thing. It's like good grief. He heard me, and now he's being attentive. I can tell. Oh, nope, not anymore. I like to think of, like, what weird, cute puppy antics he's got going on around that corner. Yeah, sure. Let's see what other type of psychopathy is over here. Hall. Media cries over end of Ministry of Truth Disinfo board. Oh, it's one of these. Is there, like, clip of it or anything? No? They just talk about it? Okay. Well, there, I guess I'll listen to it.
On breaking points, but I'm interested to get your reaction. So you covered on your show, the DHS, Department of Homeland Security, was creating this, they called it misinformation governance board, or maybe disinformation governance board.
Disinformation.
Whatever. Disinformation governance board. And they put at the head of it someone who's firmly entrenched in the sort of like resistance liberal mode of politics, Nina Jankowicz. It led to a huge backlash, both to the board itself, because people were like, okay, Ministry of Truth, that doesn't sound great. And then as you dug into who this woman is and what she's been about, she has herself peddled some misinformation or disinformation, especially with regards to, she bought into all the Russiagate stuff, the Alpha Bank connection with the Trump servers, the Hunter
Biden
laptop.
thing. She was like defending having that censored on social media.
Yes, and saying that this was, that this should be viewed as a Trump campaign product. That's what she said.
That's beyond the pale.
Yes, and she's offered some terrible ideas, like allowing blue checks on Twitter to edit other people's tweets.
Huh?
Which is like...
Honestly, like, frankly, it just seems like this type of person, is just, well, obviously just a very party line establishment centrist piece of shit. And especially, honestly, frankly, from what I know about, like this whole thing, it wasn't going to go anywhere. Like, there wasn't even really like any power to it in the first place. And honestly, like when it comes to cracking down on disinformation, frankly, I'm not even inherently against that. I mean, especially when it comes to a lot of this great replacement theory shit and this far right white supremacy, like terrorists, like enabling shit at this rate. It's like, frankly, yeah, there probably could be use, it could be some use, to try to crack down on some shit a little bit, like dead ass. At least to some degree when it comes to the actual enablation that directly like incites this type of shit. Because hey, because even he doesn't like it. Yeah. It's bullshit. I always wonder about the phrase of having a bone to pick with someone. To me, it sounds like something demented serial killers say. Let me pick your bones. No, you deranged Frito. It kind of does a little bit. I think it comes to the idea of maybe like, a dog coming up to like another dog and trying to pick its bone a little bit. And I think it kind of comes from a phrase like that. Like how a dog would try to snag, another dog's bone. Can I help you? Can I help you with your little boofy nonsense over there? Boof. Boof.
Ideas I have ever heard.
Imagine letting me edit people's tweets. Like, I would just put, like, fart noises and emojis of, like, camels and shit. Like, I would just walk around all day.
I don't know what's going on in the brain that came up with that particular Java Fun idea. So, there was a lot of critique. Now, a lot of that critique came from the right. But there were also people like us who were on the left. There were also people who were...
CNN criticized that shit. Dana Bash criticized that shit.
Dana Bash did a very actually hard-hitting interview with the head of DHS, pushing him on like...
Damn, even CNN was like, yo, fam, what's this?
What is this thing actually? What does it do?
She was like, what if Trump came up with this? Would you be cool with him picking somebody to fill the role?
Yeah, sure. And we're like, no, you wouldn't be. Like, you're just lying right now.
Fucking Seb Gorka as the head of, like, a disinformation board? Are you kidding me?
Right. So,
oh, God.
The criticism...
Or, like, one of Trump's family members, like, because, he'd do some shit like that. Oh, God.
Was actually ideologically across the board, even with liberals like Dana Bash. Now, there were plenty to also defend her and defend the idea and all of that, but... The way the Washington Post and Taylor Lorenz specifically covered this story in the fact that after...
Dude, if I had like a Twitter checkmark and I had the ability to edit other people's tweets, dude, I'd fuck with corporations all day, bro. Like, I would like troll fucking like ExxonMobil's Twitter account, fucking Disney's Twitter account. Like, I'd be trolling them all day. I'd be like, let me just edit this tweet to be like, we actually, do a lot of work in China because of slave labor and blah, 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 blah. It was like a 5-second rip. It was actually because it was just a tinge clogged and I had to kind of pull a little extra hard. So, actually, because of that, let me do that. Yeah, there we go. For the next one. But yeah, I honestly, like, I can be a chimney with this fucking thing if I really wanted to.
The Biden administration has now put a pause on ended basically probably forever, the idea of this board, rather than just covering that significant news for what it is and accurately portraying it, she decided to go all in on how terrible this right-wing coordinated attack on Nina Jankowicz was. The article was so...
I'm gonna blame everyone but me and scapegoat, some random target that I want to label as a bad guy. Boo! People criticize me. Every company. Now, we mark our process way more on what they're actually worth because we're told pieces of shit, and we use slave labor in places like in China, Bangladesh, and stuff. You feel like, honestly, like that, I would be trolling shit like that. Like in our tweet, it'll be like, we admit to, fucking, like, basically, it's just like giving politicians billions of dollars, every year. Here, these next couple tweets in this thread will, show who they are. Oh, dude, that'd be so sweet.
And so, it was...
I kind of like Jankowicz's idea a little bit, dude, because honestly, like, 90% of people would just be, like, fucking with people. If Elon tweets, oh my god. Holy shit, dude, Elon would be seething so hard.
Opinion piece, but
this is another form of censorship. Oh, this is not actually really funny, but I like to, have my weird Elon Musk laugh into everything I do. Oh.
Because
fucking
it's
cockroach.
Just not honest or truthful. So her headline was, how the Biden administration let right-wing attacks derail its disinformation efforts. It says, a pause of the DHS newly created...
Like that shit had any power in the first place.
...comes after its head, Nina Jankowicz, was the victim of coordinated online attacks as the administration struggled to respond. She goes on to say, Jankowicz's experience is a prime example of how the right-wing internet apparatus operates, where far-right influencers attempt to identify a target, present a narrative, and then repeat mischaracterizations across social media and websites with the aim of discrediting and attacking anyone who seeks to challenge them. It also shows what happens when institutions, when confronted with these attacks, don't respond effectively. She does not include much in the way of making the case that the criticism of Jankowicz was unfounded. She does completely ignores that there were any non-right-wing voices of dissent here either. And also, I mean, look, it's very rare that the government actually is responsive to public criticism.
Elon, the mysterious guy in dark room. I want this man dead. Oh, slides a picture of me across the table. Make sure it's not quick. Strap him to one of my Falcon 9 rockets by the engines. Make him feel all the heat.
That public criticism led to get to the correct side of an issue. How's that a bad thing?
You read the piece to me, and it made me miss the old school neutrality, both sidesism journalism. Because I was like, even that's better than this. This is just like it's an opinion piece that omits like key parts of it. And it is written like a manifesto or some shit.
It is.
Yeah.
Yes.
And
well, it's very clearly Taylor's story about herself. That's what
right.
Is.
Yeah.
Because she thinks she's this victim of coordinated right-wing attacks, and everybody's failed me, and it's and so that's what she sees in every story, rather than actually being truthful about what happened here, or even just explaining the facts of the news.
Like, honestly, are these like type of fucking establishment, like especially from the fucking DNC, like honesty is literally like pretty much like meant to be inbred out of their fucking zeitgeist and shit. Like, essentially the whole idea is for them to deny any fucking accountability to themselves and just deflect it into whatever type of scapegoat that they got in their head at the any given time. Like, whoever happens to be the big oogie boogie fucking villain, for the, current week. Like, oh, yeah, I mean, it's just the same kind of shit, honestly. But it's just, I kind of find it funny that CNN even was just like, yo, what the fuck is this? It's kind of stupid. And not going to go anywhere or anything like that, because it really isn't. And it never, like, I mean, I remember TJ was doing last year at night, and out of all people, I was watching, like, a Bill O'Reilly clip fucking talking about it a little bit, and weirdly enough, despite being like, hey, I'm still here, man. Like, he was pretty much saying the same thing. It's like, yeah, this is pretty much like, just blowing smoke out the ass. Yeah, I mean, not saying that, obviously, but, it wasn't going to go anywhere, and, yeah, pretty much just... And, yeah, I mean, that's pretty much what happened. I mean, it's at least, like, TJ's idea about it, at least with that, like, his version of it I actually would be okay with. But Biden's idea of it and this whole weird DNC establishment version of it, yeah, that's kind of shitty and lame, and wouldn't really actually fucking do anything in first place. Revealed. 50% of Biden's Twitter followers are fake. So, at least in the thumbnail it says he has 34.2 million, so 34.2 divided by 2. Whatever that is. And honestly, I'm not surprised. Like, don't all these politicians partake in that shit? Or is it just more exceptional because... Yeah, usually they don't go like 50% of them, but honestly, like, I'm not too surprised. Because for a fucking fact that Trump was doing the same shit. He definitely had a lot of fucking Twitter bots himself. Faux show. Same with a lot of these different politicians. I mean, maybe it's not, like, as significant as others, but, yeah, I mean, they got some. To at least kind of have this veneer of, like, oh, yeah, see, we're very much loved. People overtly support us, yes! Ah. What? Some random dude. I'm gonna recommend this random dude, Charles Perallo, or something, where he has like these polls. It's like, where's the economy in 1 year? Better, worse, the same, unsure. And it's, I love it though. It's like 68% is worse. And of course, not even gonna lie, I think that too. And wow, so many people think the same. Holy shit, there's a lot of comments. Jesus. Wow, what a thumbnail. What a profile pic. Just wow. Such enlightened comment though. Just like, I like how people are actually starting to talk about the political economic state in the world right now. It's like, yeah, okay. It's like, yeah, cool, okay. What? If Joy gets the economy right back at the end term, I'll lavishly brush his leg hair down at the pool and watch it pop back up. What the fuck type of comment is this? I want to see the responses to this. Corn Pop was a bad dude. This is just first thing. There are no danger of having to do that ever. Seriously, God. Are you gonna jump up and down on his lap after you brush his leg hair that turns white in the sun? No, it turns blonde in the sun. You got that wrong. It turns blonde in the sun, Jack. Yeah, I'm gonna have to take you down to the gym. You can't even get it right. No malarkey with that, Jack. Yeah, that just shows you ain't from Scranton. You evidently know the other Biden. Damn fat. Just don't let Corn Pop see you. He doesn't even know what year it is. Don't count on it. Thankfully, by 2024, we'll have a real president again. Whoa, boy! Oh God! I know what that's a dog whistle if I've seen one. Yeah. Yep, gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, right there, I think that's a dog whistle. Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh, it's call you a roach if you're like it. Oh, God. Oh, boy. It's starting to... Okay, yeah, they're starting to degrade. Like, well, what else? Is there any other random little amusing comments? Or... I mean, there's like 1,000 of them. There ain't no way I'm going for all that. I had my fun with that one. Jesus Christ. It's like I like the first comments. Like I like how people are actually talking about it, and it's like not even that far down. It's just like if he actually does something, I'll get all up in his hairy legs. It's like what the fuck? What the fuck? Yeah, people are sure talking about him. Oh man, I gotta love the internet sometimes though. Oh, Zukov, what's up, baby? What is up, baby? You're just a little baby. Just sweet little puppy baby. What are you doing? Yeah, you. What are you doing, huh? What are you doing, Jack? What type of malarkey are you getting up there, huh? Am I gonna have to take you to Scranton? Take you down to the gym there and show you what's for? This is fat. You don't want to get on my bad side or else I'm gonna have to make sure you go for the other bite. No branding on that there, Jack. Little damn floofball. Anyway, not really like too much else on the tube. Yeah, not really too much else looks on here, y'all. To fucking Hassan. I ratioed Jordan Peterson off Twitter. Damn. Hey! What the fuck, bruh? Yo! Bruh. Damn, 1.32k1 likes versus 62.7. Oh, it's probably like way more than that now. Oof. Damn, he did fuck a ratio like over 2 to 1. Ooh. Damn. That's just a moi. But anyway, I think I'm gonna get myself some food. Honestly, thinking about playing a little video game. So I think I'm gonna do all that fun stuff and call it good for the little evening. Anyway, call it good for the rest of the lovely night. So, peace out. And of course, big rag.